today is a bit of a hot topic for this league. We're discussing 50 million shipments and why I personally think that they're a bit overrated. Perhaps avoiding this part of Kingsmarch could actually be a good idea on trade. For example, like me, I've made a few meters this league. I didn't touch Kingsmarch at all apart from runes. Unless you really want to do it for some reason where fun is a big factor. So obviously if you want to do it for fun, go ahead if you just like it. But personally, I think perhaps it's a bit overrated, overpriced, and you could avoid it and make more currency. First, I'm going to show you my 50 million shipment I've got today to showcase a result that's a bit below average, but very realistic to get. Some other people have got similar results. Then we're going to do some theory crafting and discuss why I don't really think it's that good as people say, and you should really be aware of the downsides when sending 50 million shipments compared to other methods of making currency. This is my 50 million shipment I've made. It's a mix of crops and dust, and this is what we've got back. As you can see, it's 10 divine orbs and a bunch of runes, a bunch of smaller currency. All in all, I think it's about 20 dips worth of currency. I didn't get any mirror shards this time. This is what it looks like in wealthy EXILE. So we've got 23 dips back from the shipment, which is a bit below what's expected, but it is what we expect in terms of other things other than mirror shards, because with these shipments, typically the value you get comes from the mirror shards you get. Overall, the main value comes here from divine orbs and power runes and also the time runes. Apart from that, I've just got a bunch of really small minor currency that doesn't really matter in the shipment value. Now, what's my thoughts on this 50 million shipment situation? Now, everything I say, that's my opinion, but I'm happy to discuss it. Perhaps I'm wrong somewhere. I don't really think on trade, for most people, I don't really think it's worth the hassle. And that's why I personally have avoided doing the Kingsmarch this entire league and just did a gold, made gold the other ways. I made a video about this, so if you're interested, you can watch that one. Now, we're gonna assume that 50 million shipments in this analysis return 2.5 mirror shards on average. That's the figure that other people got, and so that's the figure that I'm gonna be using. Now, that's about 90 divs, which sounds pretty good at that point still. The problem is that every shipment has a cost associated with it. This cost comes not from divines per se, but it comes from gold and dust. The gold has a cost and dust has a cost. So the dust costs 65 divs on TFT for this set. It's lower in PoE trade, so it depends where you get it from, but the dust can be quite expensive. The gold is a bit more difficult to price, but in my video I've showcased the gold strategy, and the gold strategy that I've done this entire league will return about 1.5 div to 3 divs per 100,000 gold. Based on that, we can actually calculate that 2 million gold is going to start at 35 divs at a low estimate of this gold price, which means that this shipment is actually going to cost 65 divs plus 35 divs as well, which is around 100 divs if you actually care about the intrinsic cost of the stuff that it costs to send the shipment. Based on that alone, the shipment is not really worth it. There's other problems too. You have inconsistency where you can get 0 mirror shards back, just like me, making it a huge waste of money. And you can wait a week to send a shipment too, and then you send it off and you get nothing back, and it's really, really bad, I think. There is also another thing that people don't really talk as much about. It's the huge cost enrolling farmers and shippers, especially at rank 10. Unless you gamble and you want to send shipments with risk, like I did today, I don't really think the shipper level affected. Maybe that affected as well. I couldn't find it easily, but what I could find is some people said it cost up to 10 million gold to get a set of 6 level 10 shippers. That was someone from Reddit. Perhaps it's cheaper on average for other people, but from my experience, this kind of checks out. It's very expensive to get level 10 guys. They're not common at all. 10 million gold is 150 to 300 divines worth of gold. It's a huge amount of gold in terms of divines. And also there's another problem, that you have the risk of losing your shipment if you don't have level 10 shippers, which is a huge loss potential, obviously. because then you've just wasted your money. There's no problem if you get all level 10 shippers and have zero risk. With this in mind, my conclusion is the dust, the cost of it, I think it's overpriced, and this has implications on the farming strategies such as rogue exile farming, tier 0 unique farming as well. Right now they're profitable, but I think if the dust was fairly priced, it would actually be a lot less profitable. Now, maybe the shipments are good on SSF or early in the league for raw currency, but you probably want smaller shipments because Mirror Shards aren't worth an SSF. And on trade as well, if you're talking early league, obviously the smaller shipments could be better. Overall, I think it's okay on trade if you don't want to bother flipping currency or using other market strategies that use gold to make some extra currency. Those I showcased in my video before. And on SSF, maybe it's better. Now, I don't know about hardcore at all, so I'm not going to talk about that. All in all, I think probably it could be better to avoid Kingsmarch altogether and spend your gold elsewhere if you do care about optimal returns, because with this price of dust alone, I don't really think that's that worth it, because even if you discard the gold cost, the dust cost alone, 65 divs to make maybe 100 divs, takes a week, and you spend all your gold. Huge hassle. That's just my thoughts. If you have different thoughts, feel free to discuss with me in the comments. Perhaps I didn't take something into consideration, perhaps I'm wrong somewhere. Obviously, this all takes into account the flipping strategies and other market strategies that you can use gold for. Now, if you don't use them, obviously this is good, because you can't really spend gold in many other places apart from the like black market or something. So obviously, if you're not touching the currency exchange, this is good alone in isolation. But I think once you start comparing it to other things, it's not very good. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. As I said, happy to discuss, and thanks for watching me today, guys. I'll see you later.